stupid game. extension.
Extension.
on 12 points.
Yeah, the bubble boy now, which is a little concerning, but doesn't seem to be like everything in his hands, right? Sometimes you don't get a shot after the break. Leading 4 games to 0 last match.
Yeah, Dwong's on 10 points, so he's actually 2 points behind Shaw.
I like to think he's going to could play to the lower right and use the 7 and the 6. Wow, very passive in my opinion. This stage of the game, you're down 3 games to 1. You've got an open lower right corner pocket in case you miss it. The 6 and 7 are there to save the day. And he elects to play safe.
Is Shaw going to try and squeeze the bank in?
Well, that's kind of to my point, right? Look at the guys leading this event. The guys leading this event have been incredibly aggressive. Now, I will say, I've never seen more cross sides missed in my entire life. Probably like a 70% ratio of misses versus makes. The cross side, typically a pretty straightforward bank. So the guy's really struggling with that.
Yeah, listen, Chur's just missed a bank, but he's gone for it, hasn't he? He's gone for the right shot. He's attacked the table. Everyone's going to miss balls and banks and jumps.
No, totally agree. I think that this format lends to a little bit more aggressive style. I get that defense is going to help you in certain situations and you've got no other choice. But when you have a two-way option, then you best be taking it in this format or you're going to get eaten alive. Really wants to come to the third rail here on the lower right. Just where he put his Q-tip there. Ideally, just chip the top side of the brown 7. But coming into the 6 is just fine as well. Hard not to get a shot here if you make contact with one of those two balls on the lower right. Yeah, that's going to lengthen out. He's not going to get any contact. And really from this look here, Chua going to have some type of a look at the green 6. Maybe not all of the ball. He's going to feather this side of it, but I think he'll be able to see a piece. Yeah, and he will be able to see a piece. It's all a matter of how much he can see, Carl.
Yeah, maybe quarter ball, half ball.
Going to kill the cue ball 2 rails up behind the 9. Is that what his thought process is there with that measuring that he did? Yeah. Very thin hit here. He's going to lay it over to the left long rail. Pretty clever trying to use the 9 the entire time. 8 as a backup. Yeah, is he looking at going forward and trying to cover behind the 8? The problem is it's a lot of distance. Really only one ball you can get behind. Changed his mind now.
Nearly got a Brucey. Brucey bonus, that is. Shaw's at the table. 3 balls to go. Should definitely take the opener over there.
Yeah, touching on the shot that Yap just took on. I can't fault him, right? That's something that we were just talking about. Take on the odd aggressive play here and there, especially if the defensive plays is difficult. I'd rather go down firing than playing safe. Definitely not his best performance. Aloysius Yap. Really kind of all toxified from the first shot on the blue two in game number 1 when he didn't get where he needed to be and missed the 3 into the top right corner trying to force it. Carl had touched on the fact, just cinch that ball, you're going to be steep on the pink regardless. And it all came back to him since game number 1, really. And Chua, that's what he does, takes advantage. A little bit of the 50-yard line here, but will not be an issue.
Yeah, don't forget. 6 players advance. They will go again. They'll all play against each other. The points carry forward. So Chua and Capito are trying to put some serious damage into the next phase so they make the semi-finals. We've seen that before where at this stage you can sort of get to the amount of points you need to be guaranteed in the semis.
Yeah, and typically we see gel in the hair of Chua. He's declined to do this, and he's in some type of war mode, I think, trying to really cinch himself into the finals. No more gel. Who cares what we look like? Let's just get the job done.
What's he going with? A bit of wax?
Looks like it's undone, pal.
Well, forget the hair. 'Cause he's got all the flair, Chua. Okay, Shaw's going to try and lock him up. He could go for the bank. Yeah, I think he's learnt his lesson. Again, so what? You missed the bank. He played a match, was it yesterday or day before? I think it was me and JJ. He turned down a full table bank and it was a big pocket. Was it you, Freeze? Remember? Into that top right corner pocket. He decided not to go for the bank and you know, someone who attacks the table like Shaw, he's got to go for his shots a bit more.
Yeah, it was to the top right, I believe, and the 5 was making it a real big pocket, and he overlooked it, or I believe he overlooked it, to be honest, but... Once again, Carl, another look, a clean look at the blue 2. And that's really all you can ask for in this format.
Now, he could play it with a bit of right and try and come up and down in between the purple and the 6. He still may play that shot, but he's actually looking at coming 4 rails.
He loves to cut these balls with an outside cue ball. 4 rails, I feel like he can just kill it off this left long rail past the 8. But he likes to really get into it. That's what he does.
He knew he was going to hit the 6. He come round and he was signalling. He's a bit unfortunate to hit it that particular way. What a great effort, though.
Yeah, it's never an issue of him missing the ball, is it? It's typically maybe just a little off on the speed or direction, but rarely see this guy miss anything glaring.
Needs a bit of love here. Okay. Small chance gone from Chua for the match, for the point. Yap is still in the game. Long 3 ball coming up, though. You can just softly stun this, give the pocket a chance.
Yeah, Carl exactly right, right? Just a soft stun. If you get it anywhere close to the pocket, as we've seen, will typically take the ball. Maybe a sign of not being too comfortable right there, as firm as he hit that. All right, he's looking to hit this right side of the red 3 and go up table with the cue ball. Oh, he's just going to fram it. He definitely went up table with the cue ball to the top left corner. He knows all too well a 4-1 lead in this format doesn't mean much until you get that final 9 down. Yap using the extension with ball in hand. Most important play right here. He feels like if he gets to the pink good, to the purple 5, he should be okay. Making himself stretch with ball in hand. Like many, many pros, a series of bunt strokes or dial-in strokes, as we like to call them. And then one big fluid movement or transition into the object ball. Does have the pause at the back of his stroke, which is a little exaggerated more often in the long ball versus up close. There it was almost non-existent with the shot prior. Pretty big pause.
Yeah, I don't know if he can go forward off the top rail to get closer to 9, or does he have to drill it in off the left rail and back out? You know, the tables are playing a hair slower this week. It's actually made for better viewing. He's going forward. Yeah, there's the bit of spin. Much outside, it should hold up. And it did. Yeah, 4-2. Still in the match. Shaw's got off to a flyer. He's won the opening 2 over on table 2. Duong is at the table. Just not quite happened for Wong Kwok Kwang this week. Feel like he's just sort of hovered around that qualification zone, just plodding along. This will go. Yeah, Duong sits in 8th place. He's on 10 points. Shaw, the man he's playing, is on 12. 4 matches left, Duong. 3 after this one. 2 after this one, actually. Everybody plays 24 matches in phase 2.
think he's just got a drag here with an outside ball. Okay, he wants to let it out as well. This is Chua-esque. Yap to break. Pretty brutal flick off the purple. 2 does not have a pocket. Just lay him up on the brown here, or do you come all the way down? You want to cut him off a little bit more than that, I think. These guys are too good. Leave him the whole ball here. He can come behind it. Might want to catch the ball going in, actually. He's got cover behind the 3 with the cue ball. He could send the 2 over behind the pink. It's really preference here on how you're feeling. Was he in between, Carl, trying to come over the top of it?
Yeah, I believe he was. And just a couple of little wobbles. He's giving Yap the chance. Duong is off the board on table 2. He wins rack number 3. Robbie Capito is in the practice area. Comes off the match table straight onto the practice table. He's got the earphones in. He's listening to some Elvis Presley. He's loving life. Yeah, around the back with a cue ball.
Oh, that ball bit real well. That's a good sign. I feel like maybe the rain's got a little bit to do with that. Less slide. They were playing a little bit more true as far as the bite is concerned. What I mean by that is when you put heavy spin on the cue ball, it'll grab a lot better off the rail versus fresh conditions. You're going to find that more like if you're in the United States, Arizona, Vegas, the drier states. Tables are going to play a little looser and slide a bit more versus the southern states where kind of what we've got here right now. Weather hasn't been terrible. Just been raining for a day or so. Moisture will get into the cloth and the rails. Yeah, and we talked about it just a little bit ago, Carl. Chua leading 4-1. It's really never over in a race to 5 format.
Yeah, this is a good strike. Comes past the potting angle, so he's got a nice natural angle to come back down table. Jason Shaw is at the table. He's got to look at the pink 4, which he pots and he gets on the purple 5. This ball needs to go a little firmer. 9 ball is pretty much guaranteed. Now you never know.
And there you have it. After game number 7, Yap within 1.
Yeah, Jason Shaw is just about to put the 9 ball. He will take a 3-1 lead if it goes. Goes, it does.
Yeah, let's not forget he was just leading 4-0 versus the young Claudio Cacci and ends up losing that match. We've talked about it. In a race to 9, race to 10, race to 11, you're going to have a few momentum swings. In a race to 5, we typically see 1.
Yeah, Shaw's going along nicely. Chua's 4-3 up. SVB sits in 7th place on 11 points. 21 matches played. 3 games to go. Shaw's just in front of SVB on 12. And it's Yap on 13. Ruiz on 13. He's hooked, but he will jump the ball. It's over the pocket. There's no reason why he's not going to go and get the short cue here. He'll probably try and get the cue ball moving out, but even if he stayed near this corner, he'd be fine. Yeah, does the pink 4 still drop in the side? It looks like it's run a little far. Purple 5 is awkward and all.
Yeah, moving the pink there didn't help him by any means because it's set up for the purple. Now he's got more work to do. Just getting on the pink could be a challenge. Looks like he might draw out of this unless he wants to punch over to the short side. All right, a little awkward here, I believe. Can't go forward, playing it in the lower left corner. So he's got to go to the side, but then what? 5-8 combination. Do you go into the 7 now? Yeah, I don't know if he wants to go to the 7. The problem with that is, and then he's too high on the 5, and that's why he's kind of stayed where he is. This looks pretty ideal, to be honest with you.
Talking of ideal, Mr. Shaw is a couple of balls away from being on the hill. Yeah, Mr. Shaw did get on the hill 4-1. He lost quite a few brutal matches, Shaw, Hill. Feels like he's thrown a couple away or the break's gone awry. That'll just settle the ship, that point over there, if he can get the job done.
Yeah, if you talk to Shaw, it's, just a little misfortune here and there. And I mean, I believe that's probably a big part of it. When you're leading 4-0, well, you're going to get to break many more times. So maybe the luck just not going his way as of right now, but it did early in the week, so that will change. Look at this. the most opportune time for Chua.
Yeah, the previous match against Claudio Caccia, he was 4-0 up Shaw. At 4-3, Claudio missed a 9-ball. Shaw had a long pot, missed it by about a week. Ended up losing the match off it. Watch the cue ball.
Yeah, actually a pretty fascinating hit right there. We could see how tight the line was to get past the green 6, and he's got position to drop down below the 7 for the 7-9 to the top left if it's on. If not, he just gets close to it. Finds something tactically that he can do. But he just try to go into it now a little bit. Yeah, he needs that to carry.
Yeah, I wonder if he can kind of kill this ball. Like a bit of drag if you miss it. Will the cue ball just sit on the 9? Does go in the side, doesn't it?
Yeah, I believe it does the way he was looking a minute ago.
Yeah, there you go. It does go in the side. Why did he play it so hard to draw over? I mean, we're never going to question Johan Chua, but we know how tight the middles are. That just looked a case of playing a soft stun shot. Yeah, Chua's not helping the field here. It has not gone to plan. The guys around this 6th position. Chua's just a couple of balls away. You're getting a point on the board here. He's on the 8 ball. As Yap ties it up, it's going to go down to the final rack here. It looks like it's the final ball over on table 2. Yes, there it is. Jason Shaw with the win. He now moves on to 13 points, tied with that man right there. Lucius Yap, FSR, and Neuhausen all on 13 points. Who has the break in the decider?
Yeah, I'll tell you, and you can feel like you've done a lot wrong in a race to 5 when you're up 4 games to 1 and all of a sudden it's hill. But really, what have you done wrong? I mean, he just kind of missed the 7 to the side there, but it was extremely steep. Didn't get the cue ball over enough, maybe. That's probably the biggest problem. But if you're Yap, you're thinking, what have I done right? And if you're Chua, you're thinking, what have I done wrong? Both of them thinking, I need a good look here.
Next match on table 2, Claudio Caccia against Moritz Neuhausen. That may well be a battle that we see for many years to come. Wow, the cue ball dances with the side. It hits both points. He makes a couple of balls.
Yeah, and the pool gods above maybe helping Yap out just a fraction.
Yeah, the cue ball was sort of arcing. It got a little flick towards the side.
Yeah, and this is maybe natural, Carl, if he can miss the pink. 2 rails towards the 3 to the side.
Double J, he's back on the practice table.
back on tour. Can he avoid the pink here? I think it's everything in this rack. That's obviously what he's thinking as well. You go into it, you're a little steeper to the 3 to the right side, and you could finish on the rail as well. Yeah, I wonder if you can come around the backside of the pink with an outside ball. No, he's not going to do that. See if you can miss it. Needs to carry or stop. That'll work. I don't believe that's the pocket he was going for, but it will work.
Yeah, he gets into the cue ball well, Yap.
You kind of like the way he feathers the tip onto the cloth.
Sometimes. Few players do that, don't they? Oh, lost the cue ball a little there, Friss. Oh, wow. Both points, Scott.
This is the second time in this rack. The first time was off the break shot. The second time, right now, as Carl just said, off of both points. Look at how deep this ball went. He's fortunate not to be corner hooked. Fortunate to have a look.
This ain't going to get there.
No chance.
Still felt like he could have floated that in, just took the risk.
I actually think he was going to float it in, and when the buzzers went down, he decided to let it go and ended up right in between.
Big discussions going on here in the booth. Jason Shaw sweating the action, and Johan Chua could do a favour to the field.
Yeah, so he underhits the 6 and overhits the kick. Not by design, by any means. Probably some frustration there from Yap. I truly believe before the buzzer, he was going to just drift the 6 in last minute. He wanted to ensure the make, so he let it go a little bit, but not near enough. What a gift for Johan Chua. Carl said he's going to do the field a favor. Maybe we'll hear a little more about that.
Yeah, he's also going to do himself a favour, because if he knocks these couple of balls in, he'll go back level with Capito. They just keep going toe to toe.
Look at this with ball in hand. He's landed as awkward as possible. He's got the extension out. He's stretched over the 9. Ooh, and tip come up there, got distance, but boy, oh boy, can we ever imagine the guy at the table will miss this 9. I certainly can't.
No, I'm with you, Scott. I'm sure our viewers also feel the same, but with ball in hand, he should have been closer. This should have been guaranteed. There's a bit of distance. But it's in the middle of the pocket. Yap with a chance. He fails to get over the line. Big discussions about the green 6 between these two. This is what us pool players like to do. Debate what shot to play. That doesn't matter. What matters is the result. It's Chua 5. Yap 4. Coming up next on table 1, Robbie Capito against Francisco Sanchez Ruiz.
We are guaranteed 4 phenomenal days of action right here in Florida. drama is certainly guaranteed in front of a hugely raucous crowd. The American fans really getting to the spirit.
Nine-ball fans all around the world. There's so much history, so much prestige, and it all comes down to this.
So much action lies ahead at the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida.
Best in the world of pool descend on the West Midlands for what should be one cracking tournament.
Warming up. He's actually played that shot.
Oh, you've got to be joking.
Great shot, division.
Robbie Caputo unleashes emotion.
Well, hello again, everyone. You can see our PLP standings. pretty much, there's a one odd match at 22, but most have gotten 21 in. Robbie Capito and Johann Schua still in the lead. Robbie technically in the lead with the game differential. Moritz Neuhausen chases Shaw with just a big win. Moritz is in action now on table 2. We have action on table 1. I'm Jeremy Jones, joined by Scott Frost. It's Robbie Capito and FSR. And you saw FSR in those standings. You know, you might say, yeah, that's where he's supposed to be, or, man, I didn't know he had that many wins. It's just been not bad pool by any means, but just a little quiet, right?
Yeah, he's really the one that's made the move quietly. In the beginning, struggled a little bit. It's consistently gotten better as the days have gone on.
Yeah. You know, Robbie's one of the guys to beat, so this will go a long ways for FSR. But Robbie seems like, to his credit, and to a scoreline that's been really good, he just hasn't lost focus. That being off the table, on the practice table, certainly during the matches, he's been on point. Yeah, and so is this break shot. Now the pink's going to get in the way. But you can see a nice spread with what we feel like isn't near as much power as some of the others. Don't mind the kick and stick myself. And bang it around. Just hold the cue ball there off the side cushion. Always kind of liked that shot. Felt like I'm going to hit it at least solid enough to send the 2 up table. You could push out what I feel like is a little closer, but you may not get it back with FSR shooting behind you.
Yeah, you could push out towards the center of the table and maybe look at a kick behind the 2. I guess that's maybe what he's interested in, or the kick and stick from here is just as good.
It's actually a little better. You get a little more flush hit. You're not coming into it as much of an angle, so you'll usually get a little more power on the 2 ball. I'm really shocked. Maybe the distance is what's keeping him from taking this on. Of course, you and I talked about it yesterday. You know, when you see shots you don't like, you try to stay away from them, but there's certainly the opposite end. When you do like something, you'll take it on.
Maybe the 2's out just a little further than they're comfortable with the low ball, but now looking at the line from behind, I mean, it is a pretty good pink, and you've got insurance with the brown to the top left, but boy, I really like the left rail here with the kick and stick as well.
Yeah, I mean, you get to let your stroke out. The one off the bottom cushion isn't terrible also. And on these, you don't have to jack up quite as much. You don't need a ton of low spin. You just need low spin and a nice full hit. And I'm really kind of shocked that FSR didn't take this. Now, he may get this little gap between the 3 and 4, but it was still never going to be an easy shot. And if you take a little angle off that cue stick in the back, Scott, if you're Robbie on that, you get a little more power into the cue ball, and the cue ball wants to stick a little more. And a little more speed on the object ball also.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think predicted he was going to crash into the 6 either, and it did have him covered all the way up table. This is the gap that Ruiz needed. Yeah, maybe a sign of being a little uncomfortable there going at that pace. We rarely see FSR hit the ball at that speed.
Yeah. Tough shot, that's for sure. And maybe Capito is, you know, kind of put a little something in the back of these players' minds when they're his opponent that, hey, you got to play what looks like a pretty perfect set to get it done. We know that's not the case, but that's what he's made it seem like anyways. Moritz Neuhausen with a chip in 8 and 9 to go up 3-0 on Claudio Cacci. It's going to go forward, it looks like, trying to get closer. closer to this combination. He's just almost gotten absolutely perfect. Just a little draw of the ball. Four shouldn't get away.
Yeah, and just like the blue too, just getting through the balls so effortlessly, getting the most out of the cue ball, whereas some of these guys are coming short on almost everything.
Yeah, he possesses a lot of power, tall man, really accurate. You'll know everything's pretty straight up and down with the strokes, so that always lends towards the most effortless power, I think. And a great margin for error. But one thing about Capito is talked about for many years is the talent and, just how promising his future was. And then I think that big win last year really stimulated him to get even better and knowing he could do it. And, we all know, we all talk to ourselves after a win. Sometimes it was your best pull, sometimes it wasn't. And I think he's showing us now maybe last year's win at the UK Open wasn't even his best.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how he played at the UK Open. To win a tournament, you have to play good. You don't have to play great. I've won many tournaments not playing near my best pool, and then when I do, and I'm sure you're the same, Jay, you don't happen to do any good. But this week, I'll tell you what, I don't know how you can play much better.
Yeah, especially on tough equipment, which, again, no coincidence, very tough in Telford last year, probably the toughest tables we had all year on the WNT. So maybe recognizing that, too, if I can keep steady and everything, I'm going to get chances.
Yeah, even that shot right there, he makes it look so easy. But the way these tables are playing, a little bit slower, definitely tougher, which is a good thing, makes it look so simple.
Yeah, and really has all the shots and now a 1-0 lead.
That kind of goes back to what Jeremy was touching on. I'm surprised that FSR turned down the kick and stick there.
Yeah, it's a shot he usually excels at. And with the push out, Robbie did make it a little better, I thought. So here's a good look at a youngster that we'll talk about, I'm sure, for a long time, along with Big Brother. Going to hit this kiss shot with speed, I would think, trying to draw off the 6 as he bangs the 2 up and down. Little different stroke, same kind of process as AJ Manis, but really believes in their cueing and what they're doing. And like there, for instance, just not any worry, going in with a little speed. All right, FSR, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, favorable bump from the 2 to the 1 to allow him this shot. 3 does play to the lower left. 3-9 combination possibly to the top left.
Yeah, he's needs an angle here. He's going to probably come twice, may punch the ball. Thing is here, stay off the cushion, because you're going to have problems with the 6 and 9 most likely. Very good coasting in there. Now no issues, actually. 6-9 combo maybe later in the rack. See, that's pretty lined up. And it's good to have that option, huh, Scott? You may not play that position, but just in case you get a little funny, it's good to have it.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like where he landed on the pink, comes over to the left side if he doesn't get all the way up around the 6, or do you even need to? Like Jeremy just said, 6-9, the lower left is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and I like his thought process here. Let me get to position as quick as possible. Now, he can swing it hard, 1, 2, 3 rails and underneath the 6-9. That's what he's looking at now. But can he just lay on the left rail?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier. Listen, we're not at the table, but that's what we're talking about. Just sitting in that position, the cue ball naturally coming around for the green 6 this way, and you're not forcing anything.
No, you're not forcing it, and I think that 4 is a hair missable. Trying to really come to that 3 rails. If the 4 is a little near the pocket, yeah, amen. Think he's laying up. I'm not sure. Nope, he's going. So needs a little bounce here. A lot of bounce.
This was kind of always the concern, though. Where are you trying to land that's better than the left side of the table here? I didn't quite get it, but maybe a comfort thing on the pink. Gonna bank this.
Yeah, confident stroke there. Buddy Okachi did get on the board on table 2. FSR is trying to do the same right here. That's what he did yesterday that I started to really like. Just kind of let the stroke go a little bit. You know, because he has that nice kill stroke a lot where he can still draw the ball, you know, but change it up. What is that? Day number 6. Or what was that, rather? Here's a look at Moritz. He's going to have a stretch. If he's any good lefty, he'd like to stun between the 6-8, 2 cushions. And here's one you got to give it a little chance of that scratch. 2 rails cross side, just because you need to get into this a bit to hold the line and get the bounce off the second rail. And you just got to gamble a hair there, I think, Scott.
Always going towards it, right? You want to make sure you get far enough for the pink.
Yeah, you don't want to be cutting the pink, you know, with the 8 there. You got to go back and forth, and then you got to get back over for the 6. So I think it was worth the gamble there from the 3 to the 4.
You can cheat this a little bit. You don't have to hit it real hard and just get out to the left a little bit. Yeah, perfect, actually. Got more out of it than I expected.
Yeah, when you have that little angle, you're not afraid to draw the ball. That angle grows as you get closer to that next ball. So it's always a little touchy. You're worried about, you know, overdrawing, but again, it makes the 5 so much easier to get across. And I think Moritz is trying to find that form we saw the first, 4 days? Maybe not quite as good the last couple. Well, it's going to be a difficult push out here. The 4-9's a long ways from the cue ball, so I don't know if the jump is really an option.
Yeah, you could actually push almost up next to the pink, kind of like you're trying to tie the pink and the 9 up, and maybe just expect to get it back, kicking 1 rail towards the 2. You could fluke the 8 in, so maybe just soft rolling up on the pink is okay.
Yeah, the push out's always difficult, especially more difficult at this level of pool, but you get certain situations where it becomes like, what do you do, really?
You understand what I'm talking about here, Jay?
Yeah,
just
yeah,
rolling
absolutely.
Up, maybe trying to tie the 9 up, and you've still got a pretty good percentage of hitting the 2-1 rail. You're going to get it back most likely.
Yeah, Scott's saying not really roll out to a jump behind the 4-9. Get right on top of it, trying to tie the 4-9 up. Now, would you ever, I guess the 4-9 combination is a worry about what I'm going to say. Would you ever just tie the 6-7 up here and just let him go? I mean, that's terrible also, but I would rather kick to the bottom rail on the 2 probably.
Yeah, I don't think he sees. I mean, I don't expect him to. The only reason I'm seeing it is because I've been calling matches for quite a long time now this week. First problem is recognizing what to do. Maybe you could push out just above the right side for a jump like this, or just below it.
Yeah, to be fair, that's probably. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, ain't jumping that one, I don't think, but maybe.
Yeah, it might have turned a little bit on him there. Yeah, he's going to jump the point here.
Yeah, and really good thinking, knowing that the cue ball is going to get a little turn loose as far as the push out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind what he did here as far as Robbie.
Well, I don't think, yeah, right. I understand what you're saying. I don't think it meant to get up in the jaws there the way it did. I think it turned on him just a little bit, but that point was big to get around.
Yeah, you know, I didn't know of his chances there because I don't know enough about those real short jumps like that. I don't think what the percentages are, but I just thought the process of going behind the purple and making
Agreed.
them, yeah, I thought it was pretty smart.
Yeah, no doubt. Is this a little tricky?
You should be able to roll it and then be okay for the right-hander being there on the right rail or with the cue ball. Yeah, you should be able to contain everything here.
Double kiss.
Yeah, he'll just draw the cue ball up.
Fran, a player that'll never go out of his way from shooting a ball up in the other corner. Even if he thinks he might be able to get to the top side of it, he'll just take the easiest route, less cue ball movement. You'll see some players kind of go out of their way to play that ball up in the top right, or avoid playing the ball up in the top right, I should say.
Yeah, and I understand that. What I always feel like is whenever I'm just settling, man, that just breeds confidence in me. I just tend to start to forget about the ball and making it. And I just really get involved with what I'm doing with the cue ball. And I don't know. It's just, to me, it's almost like running for the side pockets you see sometimes. To me, it's obvious when it should be played in the side. Otherwise, why all that extra cue ball movement to maybe get in trouble? And then again, when I start just falling for the corners, I seem to play my best pool.
Yeah, I really like what you just said there. I've been around you since I was 16, almost 17, and I think you've said that your whole career, and it's really made sense. I think most elite players are typically avoiding the side pockets if it's not natural, right? Obviously, like you say, if it's there, take it, but you get involved with the cue ball quite a bit more when you're going to the corners.
Yeah, I think it was Buddy Hall that said, simply, there's 4 corners and 2 sides, so just do the math on how it should be played. If you ever got the chance to watch him or ever get the chance still, tapes or whatever, bad double kiss there. That's an unforced error. Just go watch the position play. That guy displayed. I don't think you'll, hear any of the players from the past. I think that's got to go a little bit. Actually, pretty good. When they talk about position player running through the rack, that's the name that comes up first by pretty much everyone.
Yeah, that's a fact. Buddy always had the cue ball on a string.
Yeah, and it just made sense, everything he did.
Big old slip stroke, really soft hands for a big guy as well.
Yeah, and like all the greats with the cue ball, and of course the ones that Hall of Famers and some of the greatest ever, came with the big shots also. You know, we'd always say, well, once you get in line, it's over. But you just didn't realize how great they were with a big shot as well, like a Nick Varner, Buddy Hall. It really come with the tough ones when they need it. Morris Newhausen with a combination on the 9 to get a W. Big W as well.
Yeah, nice kill stroke there, allowing it to release off the second rail. It's just gotten enough to the 3.
Yeah, probably is aggressive coming back. May just lay up with some distance, but he's in such good position. I expect him to kind of work the ball here. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Wanted another inch or two.
Yeah, cue ball kind of dying off that rail. I don't know if that was more of the stroke that he put on it or if it was something else. Now forced to come down, no big deal.
See the rail's checking a bit more though. That inside spin didn't really slide at all.
Yeah, I just talked about that last match. Moisture in the cushions and the cloth will allow the cue ball to grab a little bit more.
FSR 3 in a row over Capito now, 3-1 lead. Capito will break in rack number 5.
Here's a look at the practice room. Pelovanovic on the right side of your screen. May 6th through the 8th. The UK Open in Telford. Robbie Capito at the top of that flyer for good reason. Put on a performance last year. It's really kind of catapulted him. You've heard Jeremy talk about it this week. I don't see anybody else standing out besides maybe Chua. It's been more consistent overall over the last 7 days.
Yeah, he's been good, and he played awesome last year. I think, you know, the semifinals and the finals, there were 4 that are really trying to get this big title. It was Makinen himself, Capito, Fortunski, and who was the other? Was it Mickey Krause in the semifinal? I have to think about it, but it was still 4 trying to get a huge title, and you could see some nerves in those semifinals and a little bit less in the final, I thought, from Robbie. But who wouldn't be nervous trying to win that title? So, well, I don't think too much emotion here should be expressed. I mean, he's broken, got a lot of shots this week.
Yeah, we've actually talked about him getting more shots than most, right? I think it's more of a fatigue thing, that emotion right there, because typically Robbie not even going to show those signs of stress.
Well, heck, Scott, I was never tired at 23.
It seems like that now that we're in our 50s, doesn't it, Jay?
Yeah, 7 days. That was nothing.
No, it wasn't. We didn't need a hotel room back then for 7 days.
Yeah, sometimes that wasn't by choice, though, unfortunately. Okay, he's pushing out. Did he cut off the right side of this ball? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. He'll probably try to plant him behind the 3 anyways. Pretty smart to put the 5 on the side cushion because he can bank the 2 down on that side cushion, try to get behind the 3, but maybe not give up a clean shot.
Yeah, that's the best point right there, because I think there's a lot of distance from the 2 to the 3. You're really going to have to get through the ball cleanly and not too hard if you want that cue ball to travel.
Yeah, I think at 3-1, he's supposed to give this up. And, you know, you can think a little differently because this is rotate the break, right? So this is off Robbie's break. Scores 3-1 in FSR's favor. I think he's supposed to pass this difficult situation.
Yeah, and the biggest problem here, in my opinion, the 3, if it was up a little further towards the 2 or past the head string, it might be a lot easier. But here, cutting off the right side might have taken away a full option. Well, he never did cut off the right side, JJ.
Yeah, to me, then I would have probably shot myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the 4 is difficult, so the 3 to the 4. So you want to be aggressive there without being crazy if you have some type of play.
Yeah, so 2 rollouts from Capito that FSR overlooked, maybe didn't overlook, just didn't feel comfortable with. Kind of surprising.
I wouldn't surrender ball in hand here. With the 4 being difficult, you give up ball in hand, he can take care of a lot of problems. I try to get at this 3 rails from behind, I think. Or 1 rail. This is okay.
Yeah, I think there's good results here. Just can't catch it thick, which is hard to do anyway. Wow, real thick.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't surrender ball in hand there, in my opinion. Looked like for a moment he was thinking about tying up the 6 and the 5. No kiss here. Just play all cue ball with the 8 and 4 and all that. Just go right behind the 7 as the 2 banks up calmly.
Yeah, he might even get all the way over past or behind the 7.
Yeah, that's the target, I think.
Yeah, notice he overcut the 2 towards the 9, so all the while really looking at the 7 to get behind. I don't think he meant to run into the 9 with the 2. That's for certain.
Yeah. You're right about that. Looks like you may have to swerve this a bit.
Well, it pays to hit him. He's going to make Pito work a little harder due to where the pink is here. That got awkward.
Yeah. Does 4 go to the lower right? That's what I would look at. I think he's got a chance to get position there, maybe. Very smart with the cue ball. He can cheat angles. He's going to try and pull it. 4-7's not terrible either if you get dressed up on it and you can make an easy decision for position. If he gets past the 9, I think he attacks. Now, I don't know.
Yeah, can you float down underneath the green? Just get the pink past the 8, maybe somewhere up towards the 9. Don't want it on the 9 for certain, but boy, it looks like a pretty good line to get below the green 6 here.
Yeah, I think he's just holding, maybe. I don't know. Okay, he was trying to drop behind the 6 as he banged the 4 away.
Okay, I think you've got to be aggressive here to the top right. I really do. Oh, and it's all gone awry. Overcut. Pink 4. Capito got a chance to get within 1. Did it glue to the 8?
It may have, but I think he's got the line on it anyways. But still staying nice and aggressive there with the stun. Could have spun the ball between the 7-9. Yeah, perfect here. All right, so he's going to get one back, keeping FSR off the hill. 3-2 is our score on table 1. All right, you can see mathematically DeWong and Cledio Kachi have been eliminated and 2 are through. That's the green at the top. Red, not so good if you're in the red, but thanks to those 8 players, Shane Van Boening, Sanjin Pelabanovic still fighting for it. And I think like with only 2 secure, things could move around quite a bit through the rest of the day and the evening session. So stay tuned for the unfolding of our final 6. Yeah, that's the break off he had for what seemed like a 1.5, 2 years time, and then he backed it up with incredible play, pressure moments that he'll never forget. But screamed it back and forth below the 9 and then above the 9.
Yeah, I often wonder if that ever plays a role in his mindset. The 2-year period that he had was just incredible. Sometimes the expectations you can put on yourself when you're at the top can get real heavy. I do know from a short period of time in my small career, different times it would weigh heavily on me. I wonder for what he did that was so spectacular, if he ever feels like it's so hard to get back to that point.
Well, he's been on a grind for a long time and in the shadow of another great player for a while. And I think he's a pretty level-headed guy and kind of had close moments in the past, but let things slip away. And I think he can understand it, that no matter who you are, good luck having that kind of run playing
Right.
9-ball pool. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
tricky shot here. You got to put a little into this. He's got to get around going forward. Can't afford to catch the brown 7, I don't think. So he may have to kind of smooth this around a couple rails. Yeah, like that. Just try and float into position. Otherwise, if he tries to kind of hit it with a lot of pace, I think he catches a piece of the 7.
He's still real steep, mate. Yeah, he's got that outside ball he can hold to the left rail towards the chalk if he'd like, but he can come down to the right side as well.
Yeah, the TV will fool you. That 4's off that back cushion a decent amount. So making the ball shouldn't be the problem, but the 6 position on the 6, that's the real issue. Needs more. Now the 8 may help him hold for the 7. It's going to be a nice helper.
I know he was reaching there, but it seemed real quick, like just one stroke, period. Typically, he'll give you a few bunts. 8's going to help him for certain here.
Yeah, and the 8 couldn't be placed hardly any better.
After game number 6, Ruiz lengthens his lead by 2 again.
Yeah, and on the hill. So he's going to have one more break to try and win this match. And then, of course, he could win on Robbie's break also.
Well, we will be there, Jeremy Jones, August 5th through the 10th, the Florida Open. This year at the Caribe Royale, last host for the Mosconi Cup this year. What a great venue.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different weather, but, you know, Florida, regardless, is nice. And a big pool state, very deserving of a major event. And, yeah, the Caribe Royale that hosted the Mosconi in quite good fashion, especially for its first time. Then you have the U.S. Open, just, what is that, 9-10 days between. That's back in Harrah's in Atlantic City. It's been a graced host for now. I think this is this year number 4, maybe? It'll be year number 5, actually, there in Atlantic City.
Yeah, if you haven't been to the U.S. Open at Atlantic City, I'll tell you what, Matchroom has done one heck of a job with that event. Barry Berman is proud. Really looking for a look on the blue, too, as we saw some frustration 2 breaks ago. I think you're taking it a little too hard there, Capito.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you got to look at these as a whole, these matches. You know, you get to that semifinal and final, I get it. But you still, you're playing so well. Don't let anything creep in.
No, not in this format. I mean, I've seen some of these guys, Jeremy and I have both seen some of these guys break for 2 straight days and not get a look at the 2. So you got to take the good with the bad.
And I think it's still, you know, there's places you can figure the blue 2's going when certain places it's racked, but it's still, that's why it's racked there, because it's not certain, right? Even if the blue 2 is in position with the cue ball, all these other balls that can impede. So he's going to challenge from up table, maybe going a little left.
Yeah, you would assume he's looking to just feather the right side of the 2 and drop down between the, or behind the pink and the green. Is that his plan, or is he going to take it on? There's no way. I don't think you take this on. You can't hold the cue ball, can you?
No, I wonder if he spins it with right English, kind of dives into it. That way he can bank the 2 up and use a little distance also.
Okay.
Like that. He's
good.
He's good at that shot also. So he's got the 6 and the 7.
Yeah, and I think he could have even dug into it more with your shot, Jay.
Yeah, and I've seen him shoot that type of shot quite often. And, you know, it's always a nice feeling anytime you're shooting a shot where you know you're getting a little distance at least, plus the snooker most of the time.
Yeah, and how much does the pink really affect the jump here? Can he get into the center of the cue ball?
I'm going to say I didn't hear it hit anything, so it's probably going to open up. All right, one of his bread and butters from before that I've seen him struggle a little at here is the stun across when he needs a little more speed. Now he's just going to light stun and take a heavy angle. That's okay also. That's just like perfect, I think. Now he can just play the simple 2 cushions. Pair off angle and going forward 2 rails is a little gamble.
Yeah, it was a little steeper than I thought. He just missed the 7 coming back, so I don't know if he could have got much lower. Wow.
And good signs there. Positive stroke, not trying to steer it between those 2, just picked out his line and let the cue swing. Very good.
Yeah, I can't remember the last match Capito lost. Probably not too long ago. He's 16 of 21. Chua right behind him. Same thing.
I think Robbie lost one today.
That's what I
Yeah,
assumed,
pretty
but
sure
I
he
can't
did.
remember who he lost to. They just kind of all gone together for me. Trying to figure that out here in a minute. But Ruiz, 13 of 21, tied with Shaw, tied with Yap. Gonna get one back here.
Well, the thing about carrying all these matches forward, the next group, you only play 5 matches. So what you've done in the past has a big influence on what your possibilities are moving forward. Solid stuff here from FSR. It wasn't bad from Capito. It was just, I think, opportunity here and there, and just a fine set by Fran. We'll be back with one more match of the afternoon session, so stay tuned. More PLP soon.
We are guaranteed 4 phenomenal days of action right here in Florida. Drama is certainly guaranteed in front of a hugely raucous crowd. The American fans really get into the spirit.
Nine-ball fans all around the world. There's so much history, so much prestige, and it all comes down to this.
So much action lies ahead at the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida.
Very best in the world of pool